I've got to fill in this little part because I nicked out a little too much clay by mistake. It just doesn't look right, so we're just gonna pat clay right back into that and repair it. I was working on this for a while before I realized I hadn't turned on the camera, so there's that. All right, so that is my first Cameo brooch, and that's what she's looking like, which is very similar to another pendant that I have. And I'm just going to do a lot more with this series, this style of pendant, because I think it's, I don't know, it's a little bit unique. Not unique, because Cameo pendants and brooches have been around since forever. I don't think that they look modern, so maybe for me, that's what makes it unique, is that this is a modern looking woman, a sis that you might see tomorrow during your commute to work. And that's dope. I like the idea of that. A sort of meshing of the eras, the jewelry and adornment of the time that can now be rocked by the modern day woman in today's time. And I think that's a cute little concept in its way. Now, here's where the problem lies. I am not real fond of the thought of putting a huge hole in here for a pendant to go into. So I think what I'm going to do is try something very different for me, which is to get out my serrated edge tool, which is this, and I'm going to try to gauge the center, mark an area, put some slip, and I'm going to create a loop that the leather string will go into, as opposed to making a huge hole. So let's go ahead and break out that slip. That's dried out. I'm gonna have to add water to it, make a new jar of slip, but remember I told you I had a second one, so. Here's that. Let's get it open. Those fumes are gonna be noxious, but that's what comes with the turf. So I'm looking for my brush right now, guys. I don't need a big brush, I just need a small one. Add some slip right there. Add a good amount on that back side. I'm gonna prop this up against here so the slip doesn't get messed up. Get my little tin of water, a container of water. Clay is settled at the bottom like sediment, but I just want to wipe my brush off. Close that back up. So now it's time to just roll out a piece of clay. I'm gonna wet it because my hands are a little dry. All right, I think that's pretty much good to go. A little finessing has to happen on this mouth. And this nose, but I need it to get a little bit harder before I can really go in like I want to. All right, and here we are. I don't know if you can see it. I've got the angle where I can't see it, but that's her. And I am done for the night, so I'm going to, nope, I can't sit that flat. Almost messed up. I've just got to get something to prop it up onto, and I think this tool will probably do the trick. Yep, that'll do the trick just fine. And I'm just going to loosely tint it because this Gele Goddess is still drying as well, and I want to do some touch-ups on her tomorrow, probably during lunchtime. You see how I just dropped that? That's one of the indicators when I know it's time to go ahead and call it a night, because I just start getting really clumsy, really loose, and then I have to take my time and focus and then start to move slowly. Sometimes that means moving with two hands and bracing myself with what I'm doing so that I won't just get into this clumsy zone that it's easy for me to slide into once I get really tired. All right, so I'm moving carefully right now because both of those pieces are at a very fragile stage and I don't want to do anything that's going to mess with them. I'm closing up my serrated tool, putting that on top here, putting the scrapers off to the side, gently moving these tools from around the Gele Goddess. Here's a tool that I missed. I'm just going to wipe some of the crumbles off. See, I'm going carefully around her. Very carefully. And I can go ahead and pick this up because we're done. And the time now is 20 minutes and 46 seconds. And that's where we will leave it. Once again, lightly tinted, air can get through, it will dry, the condensation, the moisture will not get trapped, and it'll be, both of them should be at the perfect clay consistency for me tomorrow. Peace.